Everybody, this is Denise from Foursquare Micro Farm, and I just turned the phone to the front-facing camera just so I could say hi to everybody. We all know the front-facing camera is never really as good as the rear-facing one, but it at least gives you kind of a better view of what I'm doing from the front. The thing about the front-facing camera is that the sharpness isn't going to be very good. Neither is the motion tracking, so you're going to get a little bit of blur. So I'll just give you an overview of what I'm doing, and I'll turn the camera back around, and then you can get a better view of what's actually happening. Okay, so I'm spinning here from the center pull ball. I can see it's focusing in and out, so I'll make this quick. And I do a lot of my plying from the center pull ball for a couple different reasons. And the key for it for me is, first of all, pay attention when I wind onto the ball winder, because I have to make sure that it's always the same tension, and that's what keeps my balls from exploding out of the center pull section. I turn the center pull down so that it doesn't just fly out, and I angle it slightly, and that controls the speed of what's coming out of the center, and I just kind of lift my thumb in a smooth motion, kind of, you know what, and this is basically a backwards draw too, as I'm pulling this backwards short, and I'm just kind of pulling the ball back, and that's when I'm releasing my thumb, and it's controlling. So it's about the same drafting motion I'd be doing anyway, and I'm keeping the ball spinning. And my middle finger's over top of the center pull like this, just controlling it, and it just kind of pulls past my thumb, and that just kind of keeps this motion really fluid. Okay, that's not too bad. Kind of giving the camera a sideways eye. Make sure it's not very blurry in the front-facing camera. Okay, so I guess the first question is, why am I pulling from a center pull ball? The main reason is probably laziness. It started when I had the Luette, and, well, actually, I probably started with spindle, but I did a lot more wheel spinning than I did spindling in the beginning anyway. So it started with the Luette, and I had 3 bobbins, and I was spinning pounds, like fleeces. Kind of always been spinning fleeces, and so I only had the 3 bobbins, and I was filling them up. And if you're filling up 3 Luette bobbins, you're not getting on the 3rd bobbin the complete 2 bobbins. And also too, people always say, well, you measure or weigh out your fiber, and when you ply, you won't have anything left over. And I've never really found that to be true, because people aren't machines. And no matter how consistently I draft, one bobbin is going to be a little different than the other bobbin. That's just the way it is. If I'm, drafting back to back, spinning back to back, filling up all bobbins in one sitting, it still is not as consistent. And I don't leave anything on the bobbin. I'm just, after you've hand washed, hand picked, hand processed fiber, I'm not leaving a scrap of that stuff on anything I don't have to. And so it seemed to me easier just to ply the bobbin, onto itself. So I started winding the center pull bobbins. Worked out really well for me. I know some people have problems with them, and occasionally, if I'm not careful when I'm winding, occasionally I do have issues with the bobbins exploding, but generally not that much. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm just watching it kind of go in and out of focus, but this won't be so bad. Okay, now at any rate, that's one of the main reasons why I do it. I center ply Angora, thin Angora, and I just have not had a problem with it. Alpaca center ply, and just really haven't had a problem with it. The only thing I recommend that you never center ply is silk, of course. And I did that once, but I didn't know, and now I know, so that won't ever happen again. Silk was a beast. Silk is silk. So that's just pretty much one of those things. But for the most part, I still make my center pull balls. And even with the ladybug, where I've got 5 bobbins, I'd rather fill all 5 bobbins up with singles and then center pull. And you know what? I have, sometimes I'm just really bad. Let's just face it. I wish I could be conscientious all the time when it comes to my spinning. But I have wound things off of the bobbins to use the bobbins, and they've sat for some time, and then I've come back and plied them. I don't know how long you can leave something wound in a cake and then go to ply it. I don't know, but it's not something I would do. And then there are things that I wound off in a cake because I had to use them as singles and found some reason to ply them instead. So it happens. But I like my center pull balls. I love that satisfaction of when you're down to the last, like, kind of smallest ball, probably like a golf ball size, and I just kind of run my fingers like this, and then the ball just kind of unravels for me. It's really nice. Okay, this is like a really, really short video, and I'm noticing the front camera is not handling the way I like. It's zooming out again. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. I will be back when I finish plying this particular bobbin. Here's the finished gray skein. I know it doesn't look very gray in this lighting, but it is. And I'm glad I got it done in time. Hopefully when I get back tonight, I'll have a chance to start on the yellow. Yellow will appear in tomorrow's video. So hopefully you're having a good time spinning for the Spin Together 2019, or for the Spin to Weave Along, or both. And that's all for today. I'll hopefully see you tomorrow. Have a great night.